I'm standing on the Hottentots Mountain above Salaris Pass. This was the, can we call it, hunting ground of Lindsay Goldie, born in 1930. When Lindsay was between the age of 10 and 16, I beg your pardon, he lived with us in Salaris Pass. On a weekend, Lindsay used to, on a Friday afternoon, grab a loaf of bread and a tin of jam, and this mountain range was his home for the next couple of days. And he would arrive home on a Sunday. Now there's two reasons for that. The one is he loved the mountain, and the other one he hated changing nappies. Because I was only a 5-year-old, 5-year-old, and Craig was born. So maybe he, like in the old days, the eldest used to look after the youngest. Well, just maybe that was his way of getting out of it. But anyway, this is where Lindsay spent his weekends, in the mountains all over. We're on a small area of it, as you can see. The new road, there was no road, or there was just a track basically when he was here, and he used to be able to watch and look out over the peninsula, and he had a fantastic view all the time. I remember him telling me a story about that he was caught up here in a blizzard, not a blizzard, in a very heavy rainstorm, and he looked for shelter and he found a cave, and he moved into the cave, and in the cave he found leopard spoors. So he spent the night there, being maybe a little bit warm, but not knowing whether a leopard was going to come and want to get sheltered at the same time. But Lindsay, the fantastic character that he was, even in those days, had compassion for animals, and he loved the open, wide spaces. So it's only right that now that he has passed on, that we set him free to carry on roaming these areas. In so saying, I have brought Lindsay's ashes from where he died in Stilfontein in the Free State. We brought him here to spread his ashes so that his spirit can carry on roaming the mountains as forevermore. I was particularly close to Lindsay, I think because of the fact that it was 10 years and because maybe of the nappy changes during the week, but I was particularly close, and it gives me great honor to be the one to set him free. So with the wind blowing and being able to spread his ashes over a wider area, I would like now to spread his ashes and ask you to think about him arriving home here. The ashes come in a bag, and we're going to scatter it to the wind, and he is now becoming part of the mountain. Lindsay, I'd like to say thank you for everything you've done for us as a family, and everything you've done for me in particular. And I hope that you're out there somewhere at this moment watching what I'm doing. But please always be free on the mountain. As I said before, this gives me great honor to spread the ashes, and that you've come home to the mountain that you love so much. Well, there you are, my brother. You are absolutely free now. Sorry it's taken so long to do, but it's just unfortunate that I had 3 operations from the time that I was eventually going to do it to now, and so I'm glad that you are here now. I think just a minute or so of silence for Lindsay is called for, so I'm just going to keep quiet for a couple of minutes.
The only other thing that was peculiar about Solari's Pass, well, one of the things, I used to be more or less in charge of a whole group of coloured and fighting fires in the mountain there. And one day we were fighting fire, and it was quite low bracken, but there was a gully going from virtually where the pass goes over the mountain, going down. And I was going to move to the other side to fight the fire that had gone over the top. And I got halfway and something said to me, get out. And I got out, got all the coloured firefighters out, and a whirlwind took the fire straight down the gully. We stood and watched it. And it was quite amazing. After that, the staff thought that I had talked to God, because I was able to get them out before the fire got there. But one of these things, people believe all kinds of things. But it was interesting. On your life and your story, you don't think about at the time. But at the time I nearly jumped onto a puff adder. I jumped from one rock to a space, I think I told you, on the top of the mountains at Solari's Pass. And I'd gone that route many times. And I jumped and I was coming down in the space, and lo and behold there was a puff adder lying right there where I was going to land. And somehow or other I got wings and I flew to the next rock in the jump. And on I went. When I came back there was no puff adder. I looked carefully and I tried to jump to the other rock. And it was absolutely impossible. I could only jump to where that puff adder was lying at that time. So how I got wings to do a jump in the air, I have no idea, but it happened.